What's good, everybody? It's your boy Flav Beats. We are back in live on the Playroom, in the Playroom, for the Playroom. We are about the Playroom. And today in the Playroom, we got somebody coming all the way from Australia. We got somebody coming all the way from Australia, guys. So I'm definitely excited to tell you more about him. He is big on branding. I don't know how to tell you, but we're going to talk about it and he's going to tell us more about this. So introducing the one and only A.G.E, and he's coming through his iPhone too. Here we go. What's good, bro?
What's good?
Hey, gang. How you been, bro?
Yeah, brother, I've been good. When I messaged you, I was actually in bed, and I was like, "Is it really good to happen?"
Wait, say that one more time.
No, because for me, it's 1 a.m. right where I was.
Sorry, I think I'm losing you. Okay, say that again. Okay, it's perfect now. Say that again.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the connection's good.
Yeah, it's perfect now.
All right, for sure. I'm just gonna disconnect from my. Yep.
Okay.
We chilling.
Yeah, we chilling now. Welcome to the Playroom.
Chilling. All right, so. Sorry?
Welcome to the Playroom.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, bro. You're welcome. You were saying something about the time. It got cut off a little bit.
Okay, yeah. So basically, it's 1 a.m. for me right now.
What?
And yeah, I didn't know if it was gonna be happening in 24 hours or right now. This was when I first contacted you, 30 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Cool. 1 a.m. in Australia.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So I'm based in Melbourne, and the time zones are really weird. And basically, whenever I try to make content, when I try to upload content, so the world is awake at this time, 11 o'clock. So I have to stay up until 2 a.m., 3 a.m. to basically, collaborate and engage with other people. So for example, like with you and people from different, nationalities from around the world.
Wow.
Yeah, man. What's the time in your place?
It's 11 a.m.
Oh, okay. You're chilling.
Pretty much. But, I'm always up between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. That's just my routine, because I was just telling people on my post, and it's funny because the way you do your Instagram posts are so beautiful, they're so symmetrical. And the first time I saw something like that was from BR Football, Bleachers Report. And I was like, these guys are doing an amazing, you look at somebody's Instagram and all you want to do is keep swiping because there's something else to unveil. And that's what you do, because you give people that element of surprise. So I did that too with a post today. It was a quote. And because I'm dropping new music very soon, I don't know if you know, but I'm an artist and I'm very, very much into music. Speaking of music, I just submitted my latest track on the music catalog called Submarine to the NBA. I just submitted it. It's called Submarine. It's a very dope track. Honestly speaking, if you listen to it on your Apple Music, on your iTunes, on your Spotify, wherever you are, Tidal, you can definitely plug in and listen. And it's all about connecting with people. Sure, yeah, bro. I don't know what music people listen to out in Melbourne, but you could give me some insight.
Yeah. So the music culture is actually it's actually booming right now, and we're getting into that trap phase. I think it was mainly where we're really different to how America's operating currently, because I think we're kind of like left behind in some sense with the music industry. You know that phase of like Tupac and like Biggie,
Yeah.
I think we're currently like in that. So it's like one side of the town versus the other side of the town.
Oh.
One suburb versus the one suburb.
Yo, that's
So
crazy.
basically, I'm not into that a lot.
Okay.
I'm just mainly into like creating content and like that entrepreneur phase in which, I'm basically working towards improving myself. But I see this culture, and I'm kind of like on the sideline, and I see the music, and I'm like, that shit's dope. Like,
Yeah. That's fire.
But at the same time, yeah, it's like they're trying to create like a community, something that I'm trying to create on social media. So I can't judge them and be like, what you guys are doing is wrong. The only thing I can say is like, good on you. Like, at the end of the day, if you can keep it, if you can maintain it, and if you can sustain it, good on you for trying at the same time.
Yeah.
Only the sky's the limit, brother.
Exactly. For real. Look at us. We're out here right now in the mid, like literally you're 14 hours ahead.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. And the funniest part about this is that, first of all, you're the first person I'm interviewing or talking to on this We Don't Play podcast station from Australia. And the craziest part is that I was supposed to be there sometime this year because I got accepted to about 3 different schools. One was in Melbourne. The other one was, I think, in Queens. I think another one, Queensland. And another one, I think, was in... Damn, I can't even remember. But there were 3 though. And Gold Coast. And I was like, okay, let me see what I can do. I want to get there. So my friend Fumi, I called him one day and I was like, bro, I'm in Atlanta and I just got here. I moved from Houston. I don't know what's in it for me, but it's looking like it's promising, but I just don't know yet. I want to move to Australia because I have this offer. He was like, don't go anywhere.
That's true.
And I was like, I want to go because Australia is on my bucket list, but at the same time, I was like, okay, is this going to impact my music positively, negatively? Do I have to step back? Now, do I have to fight forward? Like, what do I have to do? So I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to stay. And then a year later, I was able to register my business. Now I'm fully branded and I got a fashion line, We Don't Play collections, and it's growing because of that intent. Because like you're saying, social media, the culture, they change. You can't judge somebody based on what they do. Nobody can judge you for how you post. Somebody's probably see like, oh, that's how I saw your post. Because I'm like, damn, this is different. You have that color strong. And that is what branding is about. You're not choosing another shade of orange to give people no, you're using the same template, different content, but putting it in context to what you're trying to, tell people. So I know you said on your Instagram that you teach people how to smash on Instagram. How do you actually do that? Like, how do you actually get that? What is the goal? What is your routine?
My routine? So it's basically the way that I try to grow my Instagram page is through creating content consistently. I try to post every single day. But that's something anyone can do. And like you mentioned, it's about being unique, being authentic, and being able to stand out in a crowded marketplace. So I mean, that's the first step, to growing, is to being able to stand out, but at the same time be consistent with that, standing out and being able to grow. The second phase of my growth really comes from building community. I'm on Instagram like for 4 hours every single day. Just chatting with people, liking their posts, commenting, and just general things of what a human would do when it comes to real life interactions. So basically, in order for you to gain more friends, you need to go out there. You need to create those connections in a way to expose yourself. So yeah, for me, the real growth comes through creating really good content, high quality content, and at the same time making those connections. And then that's what has led me to grow. I'm not the only one who basically makes this type of content. At the end of the day, when you complimented my work, I feel like my work is shit.
What?
Compared to compared to like other people's, compared to like, you know, the marketplace that I'm currently in, because it's super competitive. Like just like the music industry is super competitive. It's the same way, and you have to be able to you know, be consistent. So for example, like you're from Atlanta, yeah, Russ.
I'm Nigerian by birth. I'm a national Nigerian, but I grew up in Kenya, but I've been in Atlanta for a while now. But in terms of creating that culture, that understanding, that lingo, and, you know, being in the market, you know, doing the right thing for the right people is what I'm all about now. So yeah, it's like global.
That's true. That's true, man. Oh well, like I see a lot of Nigerians. They're really like motivated. Like they're really motivated, and a lot of them want to, like, you know, really get somewhere in life. For example, I do have a friend close to me. He's from Nigeria as well, and he plays the guitar. He's crazy, and at the same time, he does so well in like school, university. You know, he's excelling at multiple things, man. You guys have like this drive within you. Is it like a cultural thing?
It is. I feel like it is, because this is something that has been treated for a long time. Like, I play the drums. I've been playing drums since I was 6, self-taught. You know, I just picked up the sticks and started running. 12 years old, my dad took me to my first studio, recorded music. Now it's out on Apple Music. And it's all over the stores. But it's not that I didn't want to do the music. At some point, I even gave up because the studio I was at got robbed. You know, someone broke in, took all the stuff and left. This was back in 2009. But fast forward to 2020, I got a podcast. I got, you know, verified on YouTube. I got, you know, some decent amount of followers that I can be able to reach out to and say, okay, guys, you know, you're following me, so probably you would like to listen to this and this. So now I've learned that feedback is the best response. And it's helped me with branding, because I've been able to build a good number of websites, over 5 this past month, for different clients, different societies. So my brain is always working. You know, I can't be on Instagram every day, like you said, but I can schedule to be on Instagram every day. You know, that's why we have technology, you know. So with you now, how do you connect with those people that you're giving content to and converting that into a monetization platform for yourself and a career?
Do you have a niche?
Do I have a niche?
So, for example, I didn't really get the chance to look at your page.
Okay, my niche is specifically on the creative, musical inclined entrepreneurs, because at the same time everybody's doing something, but I'm so musically inclined that if I'm talking to somebody or branding, there's something that we got to connect on. Whether it's Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, TikTok, maybe a business deal, a logo, maybe, you know, you need a website from us, or maybe you need some SEO treatment, anything to do with entertainment, and it's creative and it has a contextual balance to it, then you'll find me there.
Okay. Now, just like particularly with like Instagram, that is your niche, like the music industry, and like a particular type of genre or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You need to find those similar accounts that make similar content to you. Comment on their posts, like give them a compliment or something like that. Just let them know that you exist. And at the same time, what I do is I get in contact with those type of people in my niche. I comment on the things, but at the same time, I go through their likes. So whoever's liking their stuff, I'm going to go to that person's account and I'm going to like their post. So then they know that I fucking exist. Because there's no way that person's going to find me randomly, like using hashtags or like, you know, just randomly come across my account. So you need to like force it. You need to force it and be there.
Speaking of finding, somebody on my podcast that I featured, and he also featured me, shout out to Tanaka. He's in Canada. And he found me through the hashtag entrepreneurship. I don't know what post it was, but he saw my story. I saw his profile. I was like, TEDx, okay. So I hit him up and we talked, and now he got a show and I got a show, and we got a cross-platform, you know, episode. And that's somebody I've never met, just the same way I've never met you. But because of the fact that we have built this society, and I have this notion that we are aspiring global entrepreneurs, and I acronymed it as AGE, because we don't age, we just morph. So when I think about Instagram branding, like for you now, before you even got into this stuff, like you're saying that your stuff is trash. Somebody's thinking you have the best content in the world. You see, so that perception literally takes off your creativity, because now what you're creating is for their audience, because they're going to get used to it. And then you're going to be thinking of something 10 times better. So when they come, they'll be like, oh, he's not done creating. So you're already tired of that template, but somebody else is probably seeing you for the first time. So how do you not shift your culture or shift your consistency when you think you're not fully in your element?
I think it mainly for me, I'm at a beginning phase. Yeah, I'm looking at other creators and I'm really scrutinizing my work and basing it off that. I mean, it comes across as a negative remark to make, because I'm looking at their stuff and saying that my work is shit. But at the same time, what that allows me to do is really be able to say, this is my uniqueness. If this is my uniqueness, then I'm gonna establish a basis, and then I'm gonna just pump out this type of content.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, oh, their stuff is good, meaning that my stuff is bad, and I'm just gonna give up. That's not my mentality. My mentality is like being able to look at their work and saying like, oh, these are some of the good things that they do. Maybe what if I adopt it? So it's like for me, I see it as like a process of growth instead of being seen as something negative in that sense. But yeah, it does eat away from you at the same time because like you said, just that perception of being able to see your work and see it as like a creative thing instead of seeing it as like fucking shit or something like that.
Right. Like for me too, I see some people unfollow me. Now I have a tracker. I use this app called, I don't know if you know it, it's called Analyzer Plus, and I got the premium version for the year. So it tells me who unfollows me, it shows me who's interacting, who's probably seen my stories, my weekly analytics. I also have another app called Command. But all these apps are great when you're looking at your stats, but it's the impact and the content of your character that's going to really show. And I don't know if this happens on your post because you can't really tell unless you have the account, but do people like and comment more than they share and save? What's the ratio?
They do. I think it's natural. Like, especially with the type of content that you might be making, like you might get saves. And like shares are really like odd. Like no one wants to share. At the same time, I feel like it's especially with people in their niche, like they don't want to share things because why? They don't want you to get exposed, to gain that extra bit of exposure. Whereas if someone comes across like some person like sitting in their I don't know bedroom, they're not motivated, and then they see your thing and then it motivates them, or they like a piece of music and they're like wow, like it's crazy, this is so good, like that's the only time when they'll like share something. But the ratio between like saves and like saves comments compared to like shares and so likes and comments compared to shares and saves is like much higher, whereas you don't get much saves and shares. That's like I personally experienced that myself. And then going back to like the follow unfollow thing, it's really common. Like people see that on YouTube, and that's one of the growth hacks that is highly like advocated, and because it works.
Wait,
personally, like,
say that again.
I don't do that.
What do you mean by the growth hacks with unfollowing, following? Just elaborate on that a little bit.
So basically, one way that you can exponentially grow is like follow someone. There's like an app for this, yeah. So you follow someone, and then like a week later or like 4 days later, you unfollow them again. But this is given that they follow you back, like but most of the time, like these people do follow you back. So then when they do follow you back, you unfollow them to decrease the number of people that you're following. So you can seem like you're in a better light, if that makes sense.
Okay, so you follow someone, they follow you back, and then you unfollow them, or you wait for them to follow you, or you don't. You wait to see what happens after 4 days.
it's really a system. So like follow, like let's say you follow 20 people today, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and then you even if you don't get a response, or you do get a response, just unfollow them back. But most of the times, but what you want to do is
What?
you want to. So for example, like go on a post, yeah.
Yeah.
Russ is actually based in Atlanta, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you go on Russ's. So you go on like Russ's recent post,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go on the people. You follow them. Let's say you follow 20 people, and then you unfollow them like the next day or the next 2 days. But you know, like half the people, or at least like 5 of them out of the 20 will follow you back. The quicker you can do it, and the more recent it is, the better, because it's fresh, and these people are online.
Oh, so what happens is you maybe make a comment, make something tangible, leave it there, then follow the people that you think you want to follow, and then watch them unfollow or watch them follow you, and then you automatically unfollow them after a number of days, maybe 2 to 4 days, and then if they follow you back, you now follow them back again, and now probably start an engagement, or you watch them watch whatever happens. You know? Okay. I didn't think of it like that, because somebody unfollowed me, and like I said, I have this app where you can, you know, check that out. But I saw somebody followed me, then 2 days later literally did what we just talked about, unfollowed me, but I didn't follow back. I made a new post and she still liked the post. So in my head I was like, did you unfollow me to start searching for me whenever I post something, or did I end up on your Explorer because you unfollowed me?
I think it's common, but for me, because I'm into like this growth thing, I can't really pay attention to like unfollows, or I can't really pay attention to like the number of followers. Like I do see it, but in order, like, you know, to be mentally stable, like I can't really pay attention to that stuff, because it kind of eats away at my potentials of how good I can make content to be. So basically, like, I expect the best out of everyone. If I follow their things, I mean, if I like their things, I expect them to follow me back. Like, you know, there's like this reciprocal, like, you know, the law of, like, you know, what can I say? Cause and effect. So, you know, the cause is that you're liking their stuff, they see that, and then the effect is they have to do something in return. Whether that's a comment or a follow or something like that, you know. You know, for example, let's say this: I give you something. I don't know. I'll give you like $200. You'd be more likely to be willing to do something for me in the future. Yeah,
because of that act of kindness.
I think it's something like that. Yeah.
So when you said that, one question that came to my mind was, when you make this post, because on your post I see like you'll be like, what do you think about this? Or have you tried this before? Or have you tried this mistakes before? Those things that you're asking, are those things literally going on your caption as a reference point, as a keyword? Because I also learned about alt text. I don't know if you use it, but alt text, hashtags, explore, all this fun stuff, you know. When you do this, how do you actually like measure that out for yourself?
Do you have a business account?
Yeah.
Okay, so how good a hashtag works, let's say you choose like 30 hashtags, yeah, how good that hashtag performs, like, you know, you see that on your thing, on like your insight for every single post. It tells you like how much viewers are coming through hashtags. And there are different platforms. For example, the one that I use is called Flick, and basically what that shows is it shows what hashtags are performing compared to the others. And right now I have like 4 performing hashtags, meaning that they actually rank on you know how you look at hashtags here? It shows the recents, and then it shows the what's the other one?
Popular.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah.
So basically it means that it's ranked on the popular aspect. So you want to use those hashtags continually, you know. But like with the other hashtags, you have to still, like, it's a phase of like trial and error to see if they're working on that or not. So
you use the popular hashtags because that's what you could probably be on. It's like the For You page on TikTok, right? kind of. But if you think about it that way, doesn't your post get drowned in the millions if you use a hashtag?
It does get drowned in the millions. So what you want to do is you want to categorize your hashtags into like high, medium, small, like extra small, something like that. So the high hashtags, they're like 1 million to like 5 million, and you should only use you're ultimately using 30 hashtags. You want to use like 2 or 3 of the high hashtags in the millions, and then you want to bring it down. So a small hashtag would be like 10,000 to 20,000 posts.
That's a small one.
Mm-hmm.
So what's medium?
You want to better optimize on your hashtags, like pick a particular hashtag, go to that particular hashtag on Instagram, and see the posts that are ranking, that are popular. How many likes do they have? How many comments do they have? Does it match your account? Because if it does match like the performance of your posts, of your status, then you're more likely to rank on this.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
That makes sense now.
Alt text?
Yes.
Alt text really depends, because it's depending on what type of content you're putting out. For mine, even if I do put even if I use alt text, it doesn't really make that big of a difference, because like everything's written. And Instagram, what they do is they analyze the posts, and then they put write it down. Yeah. Write down what the person's about.
Right.
In that sense.
So you're writing, like, you're describing the post, but you're not really talking about it because you're just giving it a metadata to receive. But if you don't do it, do you have any implications, or it doesn't really affect your performance?
It doesn't really affect it.
Okay.
Because what Instagram does is that they try to analyze it themselves and then put some data in there. Like, it's for people that can't see, but only hear. So like Instagram already, like, they do that themselves. It's like a community thing. They do it themselves.
Okay. I was wondering. I was like, how does this work?
But the main thing, the thing that I can suggest to you is, like, can you do lives on Instagram? Because you do like, face chats like this, but can you do lives?
I can do lives on Instagram. I just don't go live as often, and I've been reading a lot of blogs about going live, but I've not seen that impact. Not because, I think it's because I've not been too consistent with lives per se, because I use a platform called StreamYard to go across Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube on live. But for Instagram, I haven't done that. And of course, it doesn't have that integrated feature because, it's a mobile app. And even the others are mobile apps, but, Instagram is different in a way. So going live has not been as often. I can't say I go live once a week. That's not me. Probably once in 2 months. So I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, lives are good. Like, stories are good. Like, posting every single day, like every single 5 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. Because what that does is, like, it ranks you on. It brings you up at the top of, like, anyone's Instagram page. If you do have a story, especially with lives. Like, if you're live, like, you'll always be number one there. Whereas if you're not using lives and if you're not using stories, like, people don't see you there. And the algorithm is actually playing up lately because it doesn't show. It shows your posts to only like 10% of your viewers, meaning that only 10% of your viewers see your content and they interact with the content. So this is mainly because, like, Instagram has a competition with TikTok, and basically what Instagram is trying to do is push people towards using Reels. If you've heard of Reels,
I've been using some Reels. Video content. Yeah. I've been using Reels. I actually haven't used a Reel in about 2 weeks now, but I've used it and I could see how I jumped. Like, on Instagram, I don't get like 1,000 views on my IGTV, but I can get that on my Reels in a day. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, is it that my account is the problem, or is it what I'm posting, or what time I'm posting, or how often I'm posting? I don't want to just post 20 things and then now I'm just spamming everybody's Instagram,
It's true. No, so Yeah, reels is like reels is the top thing now. So the algorithm actually favors reels. So the more reels you can post up, the more you can increase your reach. Yeah, compared to like you know like a post, like for example what I do, just text like that. It doesn't work, and same as IGTV compared to like reels.
So this is gonna be like the way IGTV dropped and everybody was on it, and then it landslide. You know, it made a big landslide. Now Reels is going up. Is it gonna do the same landslide, or is it gonna use TikTok's algorithms to match up and stay consistent?
I'm not actually sure, but what they want to do is that they're trying to push out Reels to an extent where it overtakes TikTok. And then I don't know, they might use the same format as like TikTok or whatever, but right now it's only on Instagram, so you can't have like a separate app for Reels. But if they do it, it would be, I think I don't know, it would be more likely. It would work out more
because there's less noise. Is that because there's less noise? I mean, I can see where you're going with it. Like connect your Instagram and then use Reels as something. Yeah, it's a good idea for you too. This is something else I wanted to ask you. Do you use ads at all? Do you like run ads on your account?
I can't. Currently I can't use ads because if I use ads, it's gonna. My account is really small, like 1,000. I recently hit it, and so basically, if I try to boost my posts, and that's gonna increase my followers, and then my engagement's gonna come down. So the people that it's not organic. So,
wait, explain that more in terms of engagement and reach and followers, because people like I run ads for accounts and they get followers, but at the same time, when you say engagement drops, how does that play a role in your actual organic, authentic field on your feed?
So I'll explain this to you like this. Your number of followers is matched. Your number of followers is matched against like how much engagement you receive on every single post. If you receive less engagement on your posts compared to like your followers, then the algorithm is going to push your post down. But your followers is going to increase.
Wait, how?
It doesn't see it as natural.
So it's like it's like buying a follower. It's like buying a follower, right? Okay.
Yeah, so basically like it sees it as unnatural, because at the same time, even when you buy followers, it's not good for the platform. The algorithm detects it as something bad. They're like, what's happening here? It's not natural. So my main objective is organic growth. So I might boost my posts once I reach like 50k, because at the same time I want to grow exponentially. But right now, until I reach 50k, I have to keep up my engagement. So the number of followers and the number of comments and likes, they have to like match each other, and they have to be consistent over time. And then that would complement my ranking with the algorithm. So the algorithm will actually push my content more.
Okay. So the algorithm pushes your content more when you have a more authentic audience that is following you based on the posts that you make that they see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, the more engagement you get on your posts, the more likes and saves, the more engagement you receive on your post, the more the algorithm will push it out, because they see it as like, something that people actually like. But if it receives less engagement, like you'll be like, nah, this is not good. The viewers don't want to see something like this.
Right. I see. Okay. That makes sense now. And then the number of followers you have, I know with Instagram, you can only follow as much as 7,500, which is terrible for your reach. But is there this ratio thing where, like you said, with engagement and likes, that if you have more people that you're following, you're less likely to be more impactful? Or rather than being like the celebrities who have like 1 follower, 2 or 100, like what does that really play a role in? Is it ego Is it algorithm or is it a mixture of both?
I don't get that question. Sorry, man.
I mean, it's like this, like you have 150 followers, right? Sorry, you have 150 people you're following. So your engagement, how does that work with your posts? Like, if you, let's say you want to follow 150 more people now and use this unfollow strategy you just talked about, what's that going to do to your account in the long run?
I'm just saying, like what we talked about before, yeah. So basically, like how much people are following you compared to how much engagement you're receiving, or are you saying how much people you're following?
How much people you're following, because that part where you're following also plays a role. So I don't know how impactful the number could be.
It doesn't play a role.
Oh.
No. It's mainly, I think with like how much you follow, how many people would you follow, is like it's like a direct influence to another human being. Like for example, if on your account, if I see that you're following 800 people and you have 4,000 followers, I would be inclined to following you compared to if you had like 20 followings compared to like 4,000.
Oh.
You know, because even if I follow you, and you have like 800 followers and you're following 800 people, yeah, there might be a chance of you following me back. But if you follow 20 people, then I'm like, nah, this guy's not gonna follow me back, so why should I follow him back? Something like that.
That's a true fact. That's how people think, because they're like, what's my vote? What's my like worth? You know, if I can't engage or know that this person's actually following me, you know. And there's that whole Instagram feel of, yeah, I don't want to like this person's post. You know, there's that ego thing. So
yeah.
I just like somebody's post if it looks good, period. If I can see content I can consume, fine. But there are people that actually make it harder to like a post because they don't want the person to know that they like their post, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. That's the mentality that I have, basically with like following people, yeah. So I would only follow people that I think would follow me back at the end of the day. Unless they're like some super, like, you know, big account that I need to see their content every single day. For example, like Gary Vee. I don't follow Gary Vee, but like he's an example, you know.
Yeah.
That the person that I need to follow or that I would follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gary Vee is one
like,
of the top guys.
Yeah, man. He's one of the top guys, actually. Yeah. Fuck.
That's crazy. And I think he loves Australia a lot. Like, that's where he goes to a good number of times and holds conferences. So I've watched some of the conferences he's had over there. I don't know if you ever had a chance to go and, you know, attend or a live webinar, but the things he says and the things we do, especially using that $1 strategy, it makes a lot of sense. So for you now, in terms of context and in terms of planning and of course your brand, what is your strategy process so that you don't fall off the wagon on a bad day?
My strategy with content, so basically, if I try to make one piece of content every single day, it's going to put a lot of pressure on me because I'm consistently like stressed out every single day because I know that I need to make this post. It doesn't give me like that free time, that extra leisure time. So what I do, my strategy with content is I sit down, let's say for example, like I was meant to be planning my content right now. So I'm planning my content. I'm going to be saying last week there were certain topics that worked for me. There were certain topics that got a lot of engagement. You know, people liked it and they wanted to see more of it or whatever. So then I'm going to repeat those posts. And like tonight, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write the copy. So what's going to go into that post? Is it going to be like about shares, how to get more shares? If it's about how to get more shares, then I write down everything that needs to go into that in one day, and I make 7 of those for a week. If that makes sense. So
that's
I pretty
good.
much pre-plan my content.
Do you schedule them or do you manually post them?
I manage my posts myself.
That's
I
good.
don't schedule it.
That's good.
Yeah.
So have you tried scheduling and seeing the result, or that's really not your process?
So my understanding of like scheduling your posts, it's okay, but like I don't know. Some of the big creators, what they say, I haven't tested it out myself. So some of the big creators, what they say is, if you try to schedule your posts, then it's bad for the algorithm, because like the process that goes into it is like automatic. It's like seamless, like what a robot would do instead of something that's human. But there's also like other big creators who schedule their posts and it's working for them. They have like 60,000 followers, 70,000 followers. So yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. And there's something I also wanted to ask you about, like your templates. Do you create them from scratch? Do you make some for people, like your clients, give people like freebies on YouTube, like, or do you just keep the content and make sure that this is my original piece?
I've never made so we call them a carousel, yeah?
Yes.
I've never made it for someone else, but what I do is that I have my own template, and I have my own template, like a specific one. So I have like 3-4 of like, specific designs, black, orange, different colors of orange. And basically I use them every single time, whenever I'm making a new post. If that makes sense.
Yeah, so I see you use your brand colors and then use them as solid colors to now implement your strategy for the carousel, so that when someone sees it, they can see a lot of black, a lot of orange, and maybe some white. Okay. And when you do it, okay, go ahead. I was gonna ask something, but go ahead, because there's something I want to ask.
At the same time, you wanna keep everything consistent. When you're niching down, like you're making content for like a specific type of niche. So anything that you do, like your posts, the colors, the writing, the things that you're talking about, like your personality on the post, so everything needs to stay consistent, so people know what to expect. Once they know what to expect, they can like reply to it themselves. Have you heard of the law of? Do you know Simon Sinek?
Yeah, I do.
Have you seen his video on Know Your Why?
Yeah, and the psychology part of branding too.
Yeah, so one of the diagrams, what he shows is that the first part, in order to like, for your product to like work out, yeah, it needs to go over that curve. And at the beginning, you need to appeal to like a specific type of market. And he gave a perfect example of Apple, in which whenever Apple first came out, the entire market would not accept it, because no one has tried it out. No one has tested it out. So first, you need to try it. The people on YouTube who give more information to people about this specific type of phone, it needs to go over that type of chasm for it to like, reach the mass market.
Okay.
So what you want to do at the beginning, that's why it's so important to like niche down and, be consistent with that niche. Because once they support you, then the entire world will see that you're doing good. So then they're like, I want to know what he has. So then the entire world, come across your content and be like, this is actually crazy.
So it's like,
so you want to build that.
Yeah. So it's building that brand presence and staying true to your brand and giving that niche the best value of your content. Because that way, it's like somebody else is going to see it someday and they'll be like, oh, okay, you're dealing with 500 people. How about we scale it to 5,000 and collaborate? So I see where that goes into play a big factor. And even with you, mostly like I see with your post that most of the content that you put out it starts and ends on the carousel. Like I don't even have to go to your caption to get any more information. So how do you leverage those two and base your image to text and copy and caption and all the messaging? How do you balance that?
Like how do I make it, or where do I make it?
No, like how do you make that? Like how do you separate your image to text and then your text to caption?
I make it on Photoshop. Yeah. So like you mean like having those single images, yeah?
Right. I mean, I have a carousel too. Where it has the artboard and the two lines. when you can now, export it as a GIF or a GIF. That's how I do it. So I don't know if there's a different way to do it. And then secondly, when you now post and say want to learn more, and then you're putting that on your face, and then the text is behind, that image to text that you're creating the flow for, are you going to say those same words in your caption, or do you say something else to drive the call to action? Like, that's what I was also going to ask. How do those two get together so that you're not repeating yourself?
Okay. In the captions, I try to give my own personal insight, because in my carousel sometimes I might say things that does not really reflect what I do, but they're the tips out there. But in the captions, I try to give my own personal insight of what to do or what not to do. And basically, like, I follow a specific structure. At the beginning, I ask questions. I'm mainly related to the problem that the viewers might be having with like growth, with optimization on Instagram. So I start off with some questions, and then I go down, and then I try to explain things in my own word about what the carousel is going to be.
I see.
Yeah, man. So it's not 100% like, okay, what I'm trying to say. I'm actually going to make a post about how to write the perfect captions. So in like the next week, check it out, and hopefully it's helpful,
Yeah, definitely. How, in case people want to know how to even find you, how can they find you on social media?
My Instagram.
What's your Instagram? I know your Instagram, but they don't.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's Amadeus. Oh, is this live?
This is on record, so that when we're done with this is gonna go into the podcast. So when people listen, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, now we can find him, because also there's gonna be a blog feature for this, so I'm gonna talk about it and put in, of course, some keywords and some main factors that actually brought this podcast to life. So yeah, that's the rich text, so that when someone finds you, they'll be like, oh, okay, he said where his name is and how it's spelled.
So my name is my tag is Amadeus Mohammadi. That's Amadus, and then Mohammadi. You know how to spell Muhammad. There's 100 Muhammads in the world, Indians. Man, I don't even know if you want to upload this, because at the same time, it's 1 a.m. I'm tipsy.
Yo,
that's just for the viewers. Like,
this is the best podcast in the world. We don't play. Oh my God, this is 47 minutes in, and I thought you were drinking tea, only to realize you're on some whiskey.
So it's apple juice and Hennessy.
Oh, cognac. Okay, it's Friday. I mean, it's Saturday for you, but it's a weekend, so we got to do what we got to do.
Crazy. So basically, I'm based in Melbourne, and we're in like stage 4 lockdowns, meaning the only places we can go out is like the shops. That's it. The shops or work. Besides that, you have to stay at home, and we have a curfew. So after 7 p.m., you can't leave your house. If you do, the cops find you. The police find you. Yeah.
Whoa. Bro, I don't know. The whole world is going through a different thing. So now that you've even brought this up, I know this is not even a good time to talk about this topic, because this is not the state you should be in to talk about COVID. But just in a hindsight, let people know like what is really happening in your city, because everybody has their own thing going on. Here we have our own thing trying to fix it. You guys got yours, and nobody on the news is trying to figure out other people's stuff. So how are you guys coping, or how has it been since March?
So basically, the every single other state in Australia, they're not in lockdown to the extent that Melbourne is in. So we're currently like in stage 4, where the only 2 places that we're allowed to go is during the day. This is during the day, so in the AM. It's to go to work and to like go to the shops.
Yeah.
Besides that, we have to be at home the whole time. So basically, I think I think majority of the population is like spending all their time at home now, and all my mates, I'm meant to be working full time, and I'm a full time student, so I got laid off work at the beginning of March because, like, you know, the tourism industry is down. I work full time at a hotel, as a guest service agent, and basically, you know, my industry is down, and I haven't been at work since like March. So basically, I would say like every single person, not every single person, but like majority of the people in Melbourne, they've been laid off work, or there is no work. Yeah, but what the government has in place, I don't know if Trump is doing this or like America's doing this, but like stimulus packages for the people.
Yeah, they're getting, people are getting that over here too.
Yeah, so like even though you don't go to work, you still get like that income from the government, which is okay. But at the same time, like, you know, a lot of people are unstable. Like, they don't know how to be alone. They don't know how to spend time by themselves. You know, I feel like one of the biggest powers. I mean, are you religious?
Yeah, I'm Christian.
You're Christian. Yeah, I feel like I come from a Muslim background, so my understanding of, like, you know, spending time alone and being by yourself kind of connects you to like I don't know, like a universal energy. So basically, like, you know, it makes you closer to yourself. This idea of like a belief, a higher power, it connects you to that, and like that connection grows. But most people don't have a belief. Like, especially during these times, I feel like a lot of people waste their times doing unnecessary things. For example, like spending a lot of time on their phones. And they have their belief system is not set in place for them to, you know, be alone and be happy, be fulfilled. Yeah. Whereas, like, I feel like Christians and Muslims, like, you know, we have like this significant power of like, just even though we're alone, like, you know, we have an understanding of, like, you know, what to do. That doesn't make sense.
No, we actually know what to do, though. I think it's that inner voice speaking to you, because people are afraid to do stuff because they don't know how to get themselves out of that comfort zone. So it's not even the action that's a problem, it's a thought process.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, yeah, man. America's crazy, man. How's America?
Bro, out here we really, really trying, you know. People don't care at this point. That's if I'm being honest with you. Nobody, I mean, people wear their masks, people go out, but people are still partying. There are pool parties going on. People are still clubbing. Literally, my friend is playing basketball in the gym. And so I'm in here like, oh, okay, let me be like everybody else and stay home. But I feel like it depends on really, really how much you want to be in that space. That's going to really affect how you're thinking. Because some people think this thing is not real. Some people have died. Some people have lost their family. This is real. This is actually real life. But you can't say that everybody's going through the same thing at the same time for the same reason, and you're thinking that you're going to be one of the few that's going to be doing something different. It's not possible. So here, everybody's doing what they want to do. But I think the most important thing is that people are trying to stay sane. Because, like you said, people don't know how to be that by themselves. Like, I just got my own apartment, my own place this year after being in the US for a couple of years, you know, with a roommate. So I had to go through that process. And now that I'm alone, it's like, oh, I want to get a roommate again. No. You know, you're growing up. Now you want your girl to be in the house so that you can have a family to take care of. So it's that whole process mentality of, okay, how do I transition from being alone to being in a companionship to now being in a partnership? And people don't know how to take those levels seriously, because before you even get into a deal with someone, you have to take care of yourself. You know, like, if I don't take care of my music, if I don't take care of my art, my logo, when the time comes for an opportunity like the one that just did today, I wouldn't have been ready to sign up for the NBA 2K21 soundtrack. God knows if I make it, bingo, that's cash. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still going to push. Even though I don't get it, okay, maybe that wasn't the time for me. But because I made that intention, then because I have faith and I put faith into it, then they can't say no if it's good, if that makes sense. Like you can't look at this product and tell me it's bad when you can see all the gold in it, or you can see all the glister. Like, you will know that something has gone through a rigorous process. And if you don't know how to tell the difference, then I'm sorry, it's not for you. So out here, we've been trying, we've been doing well. We're not in phase 4. We were, though, at some point. We even had a curfew around 11 o'clock. Nobody leaves. But now everybody's chilling. But at the same time, there's some people that you can't even be served if you don't have a mask on. So it's good. Like, you can't go to the bank, or you can't go to the grocery store. They won't let you in if you don't have a mask on. And there's also some stores that have like a sensor, like a City's Farmer Market, where you can walk in and they actually scan your temperature. So sometimes when you go there, when you walk in, I'm like, oh, how am I do I have COVID? Do I not have COVID? Everybody's having this thing. Even the new iOS have just updated their iOS about COVID. So everybody's in that mental state. But I think the best part about COVID, or the best part about being in the positive realm about this thing, is that we are never going to have this time again to ourselves. Never. Next year, the Olympics is coming. There are going to be so many games running. There's so many businesses, events. Disney's going to reopen. So many things are going to happen that you'll be like, oh man, I wish I had the time to spend doing this. It can't work. I was literally chilling. I was literally doing nothing. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm just going to be vibing, let me text this girl, this and that. It got to a point where I was like, nah, I can't keep doing this, bro. This is not healthy. My money is going, my time is going, my energy is going. I'm not getting anything back, and most definitely I'm not getting my time back. So I said, okay, let me reset. And once I reset, I started looking at life differently. My mom told me one time that she finished a book. And that's when I was like, oh, you finished a book during this pandemic? I bet I need to make some music. And I dropped 2 tracks. Now I have an EP dropping very soon. I have about a 7-track tape dropping. So, and this is the first place I'm announcing it, if you got to hear this part. But
keep me updated, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I'll definitely keep you updated, bro, because I want to actually bring music out in a way that people can enjoy and listen. It's a thing when you have music, and it's another thing when you have music that people can resonate with. Do you want to hear the track?
Let's go for it, bro.
Let's go for it. All right. I'm going to play. Let me play Submarine, because that's what everybody should be listening to right now before I drop some new music. It's called Submarine. So here we go.
This is like, yeah, Lennon vibe, yeah.
Exactly.
It's some real shit.
It's some group shit, right? Thank you. That's just a little snippet, about 50 seconds. So yeah, that's what I just submitted. And I know that we are definitely going to link up sometime. And this has been an episode that I didn't expect to see what's coming. I've learned a lot from you. I've followed you. I don't know if you followed back. I don't know what your follow strategy is, because we just talked about it.
I'll follow you back.
But yeah, bro, this is good. I don't know if you have any closing remarks that you want to tell me that I probably missed out.
Nah, man. At the end of the day, all I can say is that I love your mindset, because it's something similar to what I have. Basically, you saw this as an opportunity instead of seeing it as like what other people see it as, I'm going to spend more time, watching movies, doing this, doing that, You're like, fuck, man, I need to do some shit with my life, to get it on the track, the long term. I have to keep the long term view, That's the thing that I love about your mindset. And the second thing, no matter what you're making right now, keep making it, because when you do make it, people are going to look back at it and be like, that shit's crazy. Like, even though I don't see my carousels as something good, people in the future, when I do make it, they're going to look back and be like, yo, that was crazy, you know?
Yeah,
like
that's true.
Yeah. Man, all I could say is, like, let's keep doing this. Let's fucking grow, bro.
Let's do this shit, bro. We live. You know what I'm saying? We ready. I'm definitely down. If you got anything coming up, let me know. Let's keep in contact,
sure.
because, bro, I really want to extend the sound, you know? I want people to know about what we got, because we're the next generation and we need to set the tone for what's coming. 2030, we're not going to be here. We're going to be probably, you know, closing deals. So we need to think about today and be like, okay, if this is what we got to face, how much time do we have to face it so that we can face the next thing in a better and bigger way? So that's always my mindset. Anything that negative comes my way, I'm always happy. I'm always cheerful. Somebody's dying. Okay, maybe the person has, you know, it's going to change the world for the better. I'm always going to think of something that's going to make me happy and not dwell in the moment, because if I do, I'm going to just drown. And when you drown, what happens? You frown. You're just done for. Even dentists say it's better to smile more than frown, because your wrinkles are going to start popping by the time you're 60, 50, you know, 30. So you just need to be careful and just do what you got to do. But welcome to the Playroom. Thank you for being to the Playroom. You've been an amazing host. We're at the top of the hour, and I definitely want to let you guys know that enjoy yourselves and take a shot.
Thanks, brother. I got mine.
All right, fam.
Day, man.
You too, bro.
Enjoy the rest of the day.
You too. Stay blessed.
Thank you.
You guys heard it from Australia, from Melbourne. This has been a very long episode, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, if you guys want to check out the video, you know where to find it. Check out the Play Store, and this is definitely going to be in the website, on the website, through the website, and you can check out playinc.online to actually see the video coverage. So we're going to keep things 100% authentic. I've been your host, Flav Beats, and we don't play. We're about to go. Hooray.